All right, what's up, guys? We are officially live here on YouTube. In today's video, we are going to go over the NFC win totals. These are on DraftKings. This is the over-under on how many wins do you think a team will get. Last video we did on the channel, it was the AFC. So if you missed that one, be sure to check that one out. That one's on here on Wildcard Sports. So we're going to be live for this one for the NFC. And we are live on YouTube. What up, JT? How's it going, man? First in the chat. You'll be listening. You'll be lurking. All right. Appreciate you jumping in. So we're going to start in alphabetical order. And we'll work our way down. This is just NFC, so we'll skip over the AFC ones. And feel free to chime in whenever you want on your prediction for each team. So we're going to start with the Arizona Cardinals. They are going to have a rough year. It was a bad year for them last year. They hit a peak, and now they've been going down every time or every year. And I think this is another down year. DraftKings has the Cardinals at 4.5 wins, which is very low. And as a 49er fan, I love seeing that. They're in our division, so I'm looking for them to have a pretty bad year. And I do have the Cardinals at 4 wins. I think they're going to be right at 4. So I would bet the under here at plus 100. So yeah, I would take the under 4.5 wins on the Cardinals. Let me know what you guys think on that. And I just think they're a tire fire. They're a mess. They're only going to get worse. Moving on to the Atlanta Falcons here in the middle of the screen. We got the Falcons over under 8.5 wins. This is an interesting one because they're a hard team to read. I don't know if they got better. They most likely got worse. I forgot. Let me pull up the standings for last season, or let me just take a look at them. So the Cardinals last season got 4 wins, so they have them at about 4. So I think they're going to get 4 again. So the Falcons last season got 7 wins. They have them about 8.5. So they got them 1 win better. So I have the Falcons this year. They're a tough team to read. It's a toss-up for me, and I really just think they're going to be the same team as last year. And I have the Falcons at 7 wins this season. So I'm going to bet the under on the Falcons for this upcoming season. So under 8.5, that's at plus 100 also. So plus odds on that. JT, you said you had 6 wins for the Cardinals. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we could give them 6, but you know, still they're going to be in last place in the division. That's for sure. All right, moving on to the Carolina Panthers. Oops. They have them at 7.5 wins on DraftKings. They're a team. They're going to be better, I believe, than they were last year. Last year, they were 7-10, so they pretty much have them at the same. I do think they're going to get better, and their division should be an easy division, so they could easily get first place in the division with a 500 record, probably too. Last year, the Buccaneers got first place, and they had a below 500 record. They were 8-9. But this year, I have the Panthers at 9 wins. So I would take the over. Over 7.5 wins on the Panthers. I have them at 9. Yeah, just looking at their schedule, I think they could get at least 9 out of that. And should be doable. And I think they will get first place with 9 wins in that division. JT, you say Buccaneers are underrated going into the year. I think Buccaneers are going to be terrible, but maybe you see something I don't. There's nothing positive coming out of the Buccaneers camp, but that's just my opinion. All right, moving on to the Chicago Bears. Where are my Bears fans at? All right, they got them at 7.5 wins. They had a really rough season last year. It's probably going to be. It's not going to be as rough as last year. They're probably going to be better. The Bears had 3-14, or they had 3 wins, 14 losses. So they are going to be better than last year. Last place in their division. A terrible season. Justin Fields just couldn't get anything going. I think he's going to bounce back this season. So last year they had him 3. Right now they got him at 7. So they definitely have a big improvement for the Bears. I personally have the Bears at 9 wins. So I would actually take the over here. I would take over 7.5 wins on the Chicago Bears. So JT, you can see them winning 10 games. Okay, so we're about the same, 9 and 10. I do have the Bears at 9. I was looking at their schedule, very winnable games. There's some toss-ups there, so it could be 7 to 9 wins. They are going to have a better season, but I'm kind of being nice to the Bears this season just because I don't think the Packers are going to be that good. So Packers are going to get more losses. Bears will get more wins in that column. And I do think Bears can steal one from the Lions or the Vikings in their division. Steal at least one from each. So it's doable. But it's a toss-up for the Bears. But I'm betting the over 7.5. All right, moving on to the Dallas Cowboys. You either love them or you hate them. And I hate them. And I know a lot of my wild card fans don't like the Cowgirls, exactly. So moving on to them, let me scroll down so you guys could see. There we go. We got the Cowboys. They have them at 9.5 wins this season. Last season, they got 12 wins, so they did really well. They got second place because, you know, how great the Eagles were playing. But they have them at 12 wins. I think the Cowboys are going to get a little worse this year. I still think they're going to make the playoffs. JT, you said you got them at to go 7 and 10. So you got 7 wins for the Cowboys. Okay. I like it. I mean, obviously I would love the Cowboys to have a really bad year. They are going to decline, but not by much. They have them at 9.5 wins on this website on DraftKings, but I personally have them at 10 wins. Obviously I'd love if they get lower than 10 wins, but I have them at 10 wins. So I would take the over on the Cowboys, over 9.5 at minus 165. It's not the best odds, but I would bet the over. I'm being a little nice to the Cowboys, but they're not going to have the season they did last year. And for that division, I'll be cheering for the Eagles unless my Niners are playing the Eagles, which we are, and we're playing the Cowboys. JT, you think the Giants are better? I don't know, man. Giants, I don't know. They're kind of a fluke, I felt like, in the playoffs. And Daniel Jones, I don't think he's the real deal, but we'll find out. I do hope the Giants beat the Cowboys. But I'm going to be a little nice to the Cowboys. I'll give them 10 wins max this season. They have them at 9.5, so I would bet the over on this one. Moving on to the Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions barely missed the playoffs. Last game of the season. They were playing, I think it was the Packers last game or something like that. But Lions are going to be a great team, and they're going to get even better. They have them at 9.5 wins this upcoming season. Last season they got 9 wins. I do think they're going to get better. So this season I'm going to give the Detroit Lions 11 wins on the season. So that I would take the over here. I would bet the over on the Lions, over 9.5. I mean, I feel like at the very least they could get 10 wins. At the very least, Lions could get 10 wins. So I would take the over 9.5. JT, you say Lions 10 and 7. Nice. So yeah, you're about the same. We see the same thing. I'll give them 11. I'll give them an extra win there. So if I'm one off, we'll still hit the over. So I'd take the over on the Lions. If you guys are watching this now or at a later time and we're not live, feel free to comment with your guys' predictions. Moving on to the Packers. Packers losing Aaron Rodgers. Big loss for him. Big loss for him there. So they got to see what Jordan Love is all about. I think he's going to be good, but I don't think he's going to be great. He's going to hit some I would say growing pains, even though he has been in the league learning from the best, but I just don't think he's going to be great right off the bat. But he could definitely prove us all wrong. So I wouldn't mind seeing that. That's totally fine with me if Jordan Love does good. Not a big Aaron Rodgers fan, so seeing Jordan Love do good would be nice. With me giving all the love to Jordan Love, I do have the Packers only getting 5 wins this season. So I would bet the under 7.5 wins for the Packers. I think their schedule is just way too tough, and they're going to be playing quarterbacks that are veteran QBs, and Jordan Love is not a veteran. And I just think Packers are going to have a rough year. And then the year after that, they're only going to get better and better. So it's going to be a rough one. Last season, the Packers got 8 wins. So I think they'll drop a little bit, losing Aaron Rodgers. But I got them at 5 wins this upcoming season. JT, you said you got the Packers at 9 wins. Wow, you're being really nice to them. All right. But yeah, you guys let me know in the comments if you're watching this at a later time. But I'm taking the under on the Packers, under 7.5. All right, moving on to the next team. In the NFC, we got the LA Rams. Yeah, we got the Rams. Another division rival that I hate. I'm a Niner fan, so I don't like the Rams. So I want them to have a bad year. They have them at 6.5 wins for this upcoming season. Last season, the Rams got 5 wins. So they say the Rams are going to improve barely, which is fine with me. But actually, yeah, I have them pretty much at what it's at. I have the Rams getting 6 wins exactly, looking at their schedule. I have them getting 6. So I would take the under 6.5. That's why they have the halves there. That way you can't tie. So I'll take the under on the Rams. Definitely don't think they're, well, I feel like they're getting 3rd or 4th place again. Last year they got 3rd. I think they're going to get 3rd again. Cardinals will get last. And I'm hoping my Niners get 1st, but it's going to be between the Seahawks and the Niners again for 1st place. All right, so yeah, I'm taking the under on the Rams. So let me know what you guys got. JT, you got the Rams going 8 and 9. Oh, I hope the Rams don't get 8. I hope they get 6. All right, moving on to the Minnesota Vikings. They have the Vikings at 8.5 wins on the season. Let me get some water there. 8.5 wins on the season. Last season, the Vikings got 13 wins. So they had a great season. They actually proved a lot of their doubters wrong. Kirk Cousins stepped in great. Their receivers are great. Their defense was great. And yeah, only 4 losses on the season. They definitely see the Vikings declining this year, going downhill. But still 8 wins is, decent. Myself personally, though, I don't think they're going to be an 8-win team. I think the Vikings will be a 10-win team. So I am going to take the over on the Vikings. They're definitely not going to get 13 wins like they did last season, but they are going to get at least 10 wins this season, at least. So I would take that over all day long on the Vikings, over 8.5. JT, you think 5 wins for the Vikings? Being harsh on the Vikings, huh? So you're betting the under. Okay. Well, we'll remember all these at the end of the season. We could go over it. All right, moving on to the Saints. New Orleans Saints. They have them at 9.5 wins. What did the Saints get last year? Saints got 7 wins, so they think they're going to get better. Derek Carr is going to be over there. New QB for the Saints. Obviously a veteran QB, so I want him to be great over there. I'll be cheering for him. So, I'm looking for the Saints to have a decent season. They have them at 9.5 wins. Myself, I'm looking what I have them. I have the Saints at 8 wins. So I don't have them at 9. I'm dropping at 1. I will take the under 9.5 wins on the Saints. I think they'll be better than the Bucks. They'll be better than the Falcons. But I think Panthers are going to be up there, winning that division. Because I said I have the Panthers with 9 wins. I got the Saints with 8 over there. JT, you say you got the Saints will finish last. Dang, so you're really liking the Bucks. You're heavy on the Bucks. Okay. So yeah, I'm taking the under on the Saints, under 9.5. All right, moving on to the New York Giants. They have the Giants at 7.5 wins. Last season, they definitely outperformed a lot of people's expectations. They had a winning record. Giants last season had 9 wins. So this year they got them at 7.5. They think the Giants will decline a little bit, and I don't know. I don't think they'll decline, but I think, or they will decline from last season. But I pretty much have it what DraftKings has it. I have the New York Giants at 7 wins this season, so I'll take the under 7.5. Beat it by that half point. I think Giants get 7 max on the season. Cowboys are going to be tough. Eagles are going to be tough. And I think Commanders are going to be tough, but they're not going to be great. Kind of like last season. And then JT, you said Giants. You got the Giants 7 and 10. So yeah, we're the same pick on that one. 7 wins for the Giants. All right, moving on to the Philadelphia Eagles. They were in the Super Bowl, almost won it, but lost to the Chiefs. Don't see them getting worse. They have them at 11.5 wins. That's technically worse than last season. Last season, they got 14 wins, 3 losses. They had a really easy schedule, I would say. They did play great, so you got to give it to them. They made it all the way to the Super Bowl, but they had a really easy route to the Super Bowl, especially, when they lost or when they beat the Niners. Everyone on the Niners got injured. It was a crazy game, but no excuses. Eagles made it to the Super Bowl, but they didn't win it. So they have them at 11.5 wins, dropping a little bit. Myself, I think the Eagles will get 12 wins, so I will bet the over. I'll bet the Eagles over 11.5. Don't think they're going to get 14 wins again, but they'll get about 12, 13 max. But I do have the Eagles over 11.5. I'll take it. And that is minus 110. And let me know in the comments what you guys have on the Eagles. JT, you got the Eagles 10 and 7. All right, so you're taking 2 less than me. I could see that happening too. I could definitely see 10 and 7 happening. So you would bet the under in that case. Moving on to your Seattle Seahawks. I know JT in the chat, Seahawks fan. We got some other Seahawks fans out there. I'm a 49er fan, so I'm going to be a little biased against Seahawks. I don't like the Seahawks. I always want them to lose, of course, but I'm going to be nice to them, going to be fair to them. The site has the Seahawks at 8.5 wins on the season. Last season, the Seahawks got 9 wins, so they pretty much have them the same. They pretty much having them have the same season as last year, because the toughest team in that division is the San Francisco 49ers. But will the Seahawks continue? Everyone doubted the Seahawks last year. Seahawks were supposed to be a last place team or a second to last place team, but no, they got for second place and made the playoffs in the wild card. So they have them at 8.5. I personally, I'm going to be nice to the Seahawks there. I have them at 10 wins this season. I would take the over on the Seahawks. Obviously, I would love for the Seahawks to get 8 or less wins or under 10 wins, but I would take the over at minus 155. I got them at 10 wins. I don't have them winning the division, of course. Got my Niners winning the division. JT, you got them at 10 and 7 also. There you go. We have them exactly the same. So we could agree on that. But you guys will see what I got for my Niners, and they are next here. San Francisco 49ers. They have them, DraftKings has them, at 10.5 wins. Last season, Niners got 13 wins. We did amazing once we got Christian McCaffrey in there, once we got Purdy in there. We did amazing. We went 6-0 in the division, which is rare for us, but we did. But looking at their schedule, I want to be fair to the Niners. I am being somewhat biased, obviously, but I think the Niners will get 13 wins again this upcoming season and 4 losses. Maybe 12 wins. But I don't see anything less than that, unless barring crazy injuries like we always do. So that wouldn't surprise me if we have injuries. But I do have the 49ers at 13 wins and 4 losses, winning the division in first place. So pretty much identical to last season record-wise. Looking in the chat. So JT, you got the Niners at 13-4. So we are exactly the same on the Seahawks and Niners. So we'll see if we're right. And they're your Super Bowl pick. Obviously, I want them to go to the Super Bowl and win it, but I take it game by game, baby. Don't want to look too far ahead. But that's the thing, though. Last season, I had all these predictions. You think it's easy. You think you know what's going to happen going into the season, and everything could be flipped on its head, and just you never know what's happening. The freaking Cardinals could win the division for all we know, but that shouldn't happen. Moving on to the Buccaneers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So this is an interesting one. I personally think they are going to decline a lot. Buccaneers won the division last year, which was crazy, but they were 8-9 and won the division. So they had 8 wins last season. DraftKings has them at 6.5, so declining a little bit, like 2 wins less than last season. Myself, though, I have the Buccaneers at 4 wins. So I'm pretty rough on the Bucs. I would take the under 6.5 on the Bucs. Maybe they would get 6 wins max, but I gotta take I gotta take the under on that. I just don't see them beating out the Panthers, the Saints, and maybe even I don't even see them beating out the Falcons. Maybe beat them once, but I just can't see them being better than all those teams. Even though the NFC South is not the toughest division, that's for sure. So it's kind of up in the air, but who knows? Anyone else tuning in, feel free to chime in on any picks that I've made so far. All right, JT, you got the Buccaneers at 11 wins. So wow, you are huge on the Bucs, and let's see if you're right. And appreciate you jumping in on the live stream, JT. You have a good one, man. I'll see you guys, or I'll see you on the next one or in the comments. All right, on to the Commanders, the Washington Commanders. Last but not least, this one's tough because they have them at 6.5 wins. Last season, let's see. Commanders got 8 wins, so they think the Commanders are going to do a little worse than last year. Me personally, I have the Commanders at 7 wins. So doing slightly worse than last year. I don't see them doing under 7. So I would take the over on the Commanders. I'll take the Commanders at over 6.5. I got them at 7 wins. So that will do it for the NFC teams. Like I said, if you missed my AFC predictions, there's a video on that on the channel, so go find that. And if you disagree, agree for all these teams that I've done so far, comment. I want to hear your guys' comments. I want to hear what you guys think. Obviously, these are all just my opinion, but those are my picks. Those are all picks I would put money on. Some I would definitely hit the overs or the unders, as you can see throughout my picks. But yeah, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, guys, because we're doing a lot of these predictions, and we're doing live streams all season long, all year long. So as you can see, we're at 979 as far as subscribers go. So we are so close to that 1,000 mark. You guys could get us there, and that would be much appreciated from you guys. So with that being said, stay tuned. There'll be podcasts released throughout the next month here, and beyond. So stay tuned for the podcast, Real Odd Bets. That's what it's called, Real Odd Bets. That'll be here on the channel. But yeah, with that being said, yeah, guys, you guys have a great rest of your night, and enjoy the rest of the week. I'll see you guys on the next live stream. Peace out.